Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome back to Youth Forum. And in this part of the section, we're going to listen to your poems as well as the poems of our brothers as well. I'm going to discuss some topics and have a more of a chill out session in which you can call in as well, and you can answer the question of the week, which is where is Masum Maqum buried? Now it's a very quite easy
simple question.
Yeah, and the reward is the book which is called The Teachings of Islam. So you can call and we'll write your names down, and at the end of the program we'll pick a winner.
So we can win the book,
who will win the book. Now I believe you two have a poem.
Before we would like to start, we will dedicate the poem to that me and Hazik have written towards Bibi Masum Maqum, who the question is also dedicated because it was her wiladat a few days ago. So I want to give Mubarak and congratulations to all of the Muslim Ummah on the birthday of Bibi Masum Maqum. So we'll start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Encompassed by mountains of universality, I am a foreigner in my home. Her golden dome I crave to seek, I start to gallop with my own feet.
With the rucksack of my wishes carried on my sinful back, I continue on this endless track towards the company of a lady known as Haq.
Roots upon roots I indulge myself to get near your fragrance. I am a lost soul found within your grasp. I visioned your beauty in my limited sight as I fall to my knees at the gate of your entrance, clearing my memory of darkened past.
Strolling along the heavenly beauty of your dome, I seek refuge in the shelter of the open stars. Let me rest within my self-proclaimed home, as the architecture of your shrine within my heart I carve.
The flower of compassion, her fashion is the beauty of her shrine. The time I have spent in her hospitality have caused waves of kindness in my sea.
O my soul, O my deeds, with the broken voice I whisper my sins, I seek for forgiveness. So again, with the broken voice, your name I hum. You're the light in my soul's darkness.
O Masum Maqum.
MashaAllah. Sallallahu Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And as you said, the wiladat just passed as well a few days ago about Masum Maqum. Just to remind the audience, is where the question of the week is where is Masum Maqum buried? So make sure you call in, participate, and be in the chance to win the book, The Teachings of Islam, and the winner will be picked at the end of the program. Now, Brother Ja'far, we said this last week as well, about how important poetry is especially in Shia Islam as well, as well as the Islam as a whole, and how it brings the youth together nowadays, because now you see, you don't see the youth as involved much.
Definitely.
This is in the shisha bar.
Shisha bar. Football match, that's another one.
Yeah, that's another one, exactly.
At least it's not the pub.
So as well, namaz is basically like the conversation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you see people moving away from namaz, and you can use poetry in order to bring them back. So how important is poetry?
To start off with, I think if you try and do something with a good intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will see deep inside you. He'll see that you're trying to go to the good path, basically. And if you carry on, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy job.
There's a hadith from Imam Ali that says good intentions are the most beautiful of secrets.
So if you carry on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, surely He will help you. Now, if He may not, this might be a test for you to try and see how far you'll get. So in this case, poetry is kind of a good intention deep inside you. I mean, if you don't pray, if you don't do salah, then obviously you should, but poetry can probably guide you back into this path. And it's kind of different stuff on the side that you can do that can bring you back to the path.
We talk about creating love. If you're talking about salah, you should first create love for Islam, for the Ahlul Bayt, and through poetry you can accomplish that. And with the love,
show your love,
with the love and show your love through poetry, then you can follow the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt.
It's not just poetry. I mean, like I draw as well, and
painting.
Mashallah,
I drew the Gandhi drawing, and I wrote on the quote that I said, I learned from Hussein how to achieve victory while being oppressed.
It doesn't have to be something
that
will become famous and around the world. It just it's about
Something
it
to
can be
portray.
a single line that you write in remembrance of the infallibles.
If
or
you're going to do
Islam.
anything, don't take this in a selfish way, but you should do something. You should do everything with the intention that it will benefit you and help you first before it will help
because you
others.
see, the imams don't ask for anything from you, but your love towards them. So you can portray your love in many ways, and
We
you
need
could
the
be
love for the imams, not them. There's always people get confused all the way around.
The imams don't need us. Well, they say they need us, but they only say that for the sake of
Of us,
ourselves, because of their
mashallah.
love towards us. If you think about it, the imams are infallibles. They're going to go heaven anyway, and they have each other at the end of the day. So why would they? What's it called? Why do they need us? But because they love us so much, they're saying we need you. So we have some gratitude, and we're like, wow, mom needs us.
But you see, we're here in this world are so selfish that we only want everything for ourselves and we don't think about others. Like you have to look at, as we were talking about last week, look at the imams as our role models and how they came and lived their life for the sake of their ummah, not only for them. So we have to, I'm not saying you all have to live your life for the sake of others. I'm saying what you have to do is
Live for your life for the sake of Allah.
Know
only.
when to use what. So if you know when to help others, help others. If you
But it's
know
an
when to
interesting
use
point
it.
that when you start helping others, I always say there's a beautiful point that, you're living life when you do something for someone else in the intention that you will never get something back. That's when you realize the value of life. And you see that when you start helping others, you're actually helping yourself at the same time.
There's a beautiful quote I read yesterday. It says, if you see someone without a smile, give them yours.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
So it's
Here's my smile.
to all the ummah right there. And just helping the other people, your old brothers in Islam, your sisters in Islam, to get closer to like the Ahlul Bayt through love, through poetry, through anything, drawings,
If
paintings.
you see a friend that needs help, just help them. Like try
It
and
doesn't
guide
need to
them
be a
back.
friend. Just like Imam Ali says,
as
if he's not
a
your
smile
brother.
can make someone's day, as you said, Brother Hazar. I've heard the story that this man who was about to commit suicide because he was homeless, but then what happened was a stranger walked past him and all he did was smile at him, and then from that he had this passion inside him that someone does care for me.
Little spark.
Little spark.
I actually read something, I can't remember where, it's probably on social media, but it really, sparked a smile and sparked, hope in humanity. You know what they say, that bring back hope in humanity. Basically what it was is this person, he said, she or he was stating, a friend of his or hers, whatever, this person. So they said, he always smiles whenever he's going in the car to random strangers on the street.
And people think he's he's
So
a
he
creep.
questioned no, but he questioned people would smile back at him, and he questioned his friend. He goes like, why do you smile at random people when we're walking or thingy? He goes, because you never know, they might be having a really bad day, or they might be having a tough time in their life, but because I smiled at them, they're like, oh, you know what, a stranger is smiling at me,
Yeah, simple smile.
someone
can
has
make
hope
something.
in me. So a simple smile could do the whole thing for a
can
whole
make
thing.
someone's day as well.
Yeah, his whole life basically.
And as you said about the creep, that's how Western society is portrayed, being friendly with others through
I know
smiles.
Imam Jafar Sadiq has said, give 70 excuses. So you're saying creep straight away, is obviously he said it as a joke, as a small remark, but people actually do that. When someone's trying to be nice, just because he's portrayed
He's a
in a different
stranger,
image, or from a different sect, or from a different background, they automatically make false propaganda or false judgments. Why don't they make happy judgments? Why don't they make positive ones?
Because
That's
they
what
don't want to make positive ones, because it all comes down to selfishness, doesn't it? They want themselves to be better than
they want to be
other people.
portrayed to be better.
As I've heard this this quote, that if someone they always want you to they always want you to succeed, but not as much as them.
Never, yeah.
So
No matter how perfect you will be, there will always be that one hater that will just hate you day and night. They'll just try and.
But it's true. They're just planning it out.
Envy is another point we should do and discuss in another program, but envy is like one of the most bad habits a person can gain. Envy from a more successful person, and inferiority and superiority. When you look at people that are lower than you look them in disgust. When you look at people that are above you look them in envy. So that's another point you got to change on.
That's definitely, they always say that, you know how they always say, like, what's it called? Guys want to be you and girls want to be with you. So obviously people, they use that in the current society at the moment, but it's a really good point that it's always about envy. And whenever someone looks at them, they always have to relate themselves towards that person.
You start comparing as well. Like if you look at someone, for example, like a famous actor or something, people strive to be like him instead of striving to be like the infallible, just because he has all this popularity in this world. Although you never know, in his own life he must have complications.
He was a comedian, right?
And he lived and he portrayed himself on screen as a happy person, and now we found out after his death that
wasn't the case.
Yeah, he lived a very stressful life.
But at least
so don't judge as which leads to the point of not judging. Make 70 excuses, as you said.
But at least that person, for other people's sake,
made other people smile.
He made other people smile, even though he was in a bad time. You shouldn't put your anger on other people. I was going to say a good point is that the sign. That's why one of the signs of a mu'min is that he always or she always puts other people better than they are. They always put them down. So, for example, I was in a lecture and I was listening. What happened was that when they asked a mu'min at the time of the imam, and they went to him and he was praying namaz, and they were like, "MashaAllah, you pray so much." They kept on replying with the same answer, which was, "If you think I'm really good at this, you should see this person." And then when they went to the next person, he said the same thing. "If you think I'm good, you should see who he is."
So they're not boasting, they're not making
themselves. So they always put themselves down, but because they try their best to be the best at everything, one of their best acts and best characteristics of his person is being humble.
Just going back to the topic of making other people smile, as you said, and having friends and people that take care of you. You look at Imam Mahdi. There's this Farsi small Farsi line which says "Baina in hamisine zana Mahdi man yar nadare," which talks about, you look at all these people doing azadari and praying for him. But even with all these
the ones who lament, all the lamenters, Imam Mahdi doesn't even have a friend, which is a translation of his words. Because that's a very good point that you made. It's usually the case that we actually displease our friends more than we displease others. So I know for a fact, WAFIQ, me and you have we have fights all the time. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't be like that. But you should be. But for example, with Imam Mahdi, we don't even make him smile with our acts. It's very easy to make Imam Mahdi smile because of his humble character.
Just look how patient Imam Mahdi is.
Although
Friday, he's lonely, he still wants us to be. He's not saying he's not asking much. He's just waiting for us to change ourselves so he can come and save us. He's not coming for his sake, is he? He's coming for the sake of Allah and the sake of us.
MashaAllah, we have special days every week, but the most special day is probably Thursday or Friday, especially Friday. Everyone says Jummah Mubarak, and that's just a reason to be happy. And what they say about Imam Mahdi? Imam Mahdi prays for every single Shia and his followers or his lovers on that day, and he says to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is very beautiful, it's very heartbreaking. He says, "Oh Imam, oh Allah, he has remembered me, so even though he has been bad to you, please forgive his sins on my behalf, for my love.
Especially on Tuesdays, we says tawassul, where we ask for forgiveness from Allah through the Ahlul Bayt,
all the representatives of Allah.
They're the most close to Allah. So when we look for forgiveness, when we seek love, we look through Ahlul Bayt to Allah. We reach Allah through Ahlul Bayt. That's the most important part we need to understand.
That people say we pray towards the imams and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to say what kind of people cause such false allegations, but it's an argument in the current times that we pray to Imam Mahdi or we pray to Hidayat Abbas. No, we don't. We use them so we could get closer to Allah. Because even if you get closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be always closer to Allah because they are infallibles. So why shouldn't we use such beautiful love, such an opportunity that they are giving us so we can get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
I have this poem, speaking of Imam Mahdi, I have this poem from a brother called Sahar Hussein. And it's quite long if you give it permission.
We've got enough time.
The wind gently tossing the waters upon the bare embrace of the sea, and the rippling waves tracing its path to the solace of troubled hearts. But before I move on, we have a
caller, mashallah. Alhamdulillah.
Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Can you give me your name and where you're calling from, brother?
Assalamu alaikum. This is Begum from Wolverhampton, and I just wanted to say that your program is excellent and it's going really well.
Thank you. Would you like to answer the question as well?
Yeah, and the answer to Bibi Masuma was born is the.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Would you like to repeat that?
Bibi Masuma is buried in Qum.
Okay.
Oh, mashallah.
Okay,
Thank
mashallah.
you.
We will pick the
We'll
winner
reveal
at
the
the
answer.
end.
We'll reveal the answer at the end. If anybody else calls,
We'll
we will
put
take
their
the
name
names
down as
down.
well.
Inshallah.
So thank you very much for calling.
Brother Zeram. Okay, now let me just carry on with the poem. The withered leaflet dancing in the morning breeze as flowers take shelter in the swollen buds, leaving the fragrance of grass to dissolve. The afore-tweeting birds, now speechless songs await their recital. How colours of spring have faded out from canvas of life, prolonging the chills of this loathed blizzard. No life, and yet all life. Nature mourns as we shy away from this trauma that bites into our soul with daggering pain. Seen is each one harbouring to transient haven as its enerving mirage lures man. He breathes and yet is suffocating. This is a really good
He
part.
breathes yet he is suffocating.
The silence is deafening as the darkness of occultation persists. The niche grows tighter, the lantern of my trivial haven breaks. Its glass pieces lay scatter. The mirage was never true. My perception failed me with derailed ecstasy and a mystic heaviness of guilt drowning me. I walk through nature's garden, now with eyes looking beyond its curtain of frame. I sense the loneliness, the deprivation, the grounding pain. Where is the one from whose light I deprived my soul? I ask whispering, the occultation is predestined, but as beautiful visage of enchanting and the pure heart have sensed him. The virtuous souls have met him. What is more agonizing then? The multiple self-inflicted wounds of mine upon my once so pure soul, by drawing curtains of concealment upon my vision. O beloved of Al-Askari, Ya Imam Mahdi, grace upon this slave a generous regard, a prayer to stand by the oath that she has made, to see you once before death strikes, to amend my broken promises, that no mirage would ever entice my soul. And the mirage used as a metaphor for this world.
I also have a point. Oh, we have a caller actually.
Yeah, we have a caller. Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam, and my name is Taki Abad from Manchester. And I just wanted to say that just keep up the good work, and your program is doing well, mashallah. And I just wanted to say one hadith from Imam Ali, that Imam Ali once said that if you visit Bibi Masuma's Shuaib, Jannat is wajib on you.
MashaAllah. Do you want to answer the question?
Would you like to answer the question as well, Brother Taqi?
Yeah, I would like to answer the question.
Okay. Where's your answer?
So, I think the answer is Qum.
Okay. MashaAllah. We'll reveal the answer at the end, and we will.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you for your call,
and
MashaAllah.
hopefully, if you win the prize, please call back.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
MashaAllah. So, as we are closing on the end of our program, we'd just like to recite the five times Amma Yujib al-Mustarida for my uncle who's in critical condition. Inshallah, Allah is with him, and for others who are also ill as well. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء.
اللهم صل على
Muhammad, and
Allah grant him, great health, inshallah, and anybody who is ill. I have a poem.
Yeah, would you like to recite?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I start in His name I start in, the most beneficent, the most merciful, the most beautiful and the most bountiful. He has no eyes, yet he is the all-seeing, no hands, yet he is the greatest helper, no ears, yet he is the all-hearing, no thoughts, yet he is the all-knowing. He is the maker of such beauty set in the mountains of creation, the glorious creator of such purity. The infallibles are his demonstration. If the pathway to heaven was made from paper, I would write verse after verse about my creator. Ya Allah, who is this love I crave to see? It is the love of Muhammad and Ali, Yusuf of Zahra, that will set us free. It is none other than Mahdi. Ya Aba Saleh, Ya Aba Saleh Madadi. Possessing such emotion from the ocean of your love, my face may seem young, but my soul has turned old. My heart has wrinkles, but my words about you have turned gold. For all the jewels in this world, my allegiance to you cannot be sold. From my mother's womb to sleeping in her cradle, your kindness I was taught and told. Nights full, your melodies she sang, rekindling a fire in this body that was cold. A small infant with the dreams of your flank, even whispering your name makes my body stand bold. My palm rested on my cheek, awaiting your call. Reminiscent memories of you my tongue holds, ready to recite your anecdote from your scrolls. With 1,000 waves of virtues in the sea you uphold, I still wander the streets under the night sky, begging to find the Ali of my time. That one day the tears from my cries will erode the walls that blocks the sun that shines. From the tears I cry, angels are born. From the tears I shed, the heavens tremble. From the promises I took, I've sworn. With Hussein's name, his love, I've assembled. Upon the patience of his virtues, upon his beauty, the voice of the Quran, upon the shaking walls of Khurasan, upon the masters of Salman, a tear of love enters the shell of my heart and becomes a pearl, a divine rose, the jasmine of Nargis that retains my world. Where hearts have failed and the hopes of souls have prevailed, the ship of Mahdi has sailed, a ship of salvation we shall sail, we shall trail. Sorry about that. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
And before we end the program, will Brother Jafar, will you pick out the winner of today, 50-50? Brother Taqi from Manchester and Brother Zayn from Wolverhampton.
The same as last week, 2 people. This is so tense. Drum roll. Come on.
It is Taqi Abbas from Manchester.
Brother Taqi Abbas, you have won the book Teachings of Islam. Thank you for participating. And inshallah next week we will be doing the same as well, live. And thank you for watching. I think that's the end of the time. We will get in contact with you, brother, and we will send you the prize as well. Thank you for watching. Inshallah next week we will have the same program and you can also participate as well. Thank you for watching. Khuda Hafiz.